Hey everybody, it's Georgia Farming and Food Vlog. It's the middle of September here in Atlanta. Weather's starting to cool down. Right now the highs are around low 80s and the lows get down to low 60s in the night. So everything's starting to slow down a little bit. But here are the bananas that I have. I'll walk through an update on each of them at the very end, but let's get to the main part of this video. So today I'm gonna be adding a bag over this banana plant right here. Here are the bananas that you guys all know and love, been tracking. To be completely honest, they have slowed down a little bit. I'm a little disappointed with the process so far or the progress. They are starting to fill out a little bit though, but I'm pretty pessimistic that we're gonna get them completely, plump and ready to pick before it gets too cold here. Hopefully this bag will help a little bit, and then we might have to ripen them indoors, a little bit when it gets colder. But I expect us to have about two more weeks of good weather in the 80s, and then it's just up in the air. We'll see what happens in October. We've had freezes as early as the first or second week in October, and sometimes it's not till the end of October. So we'll just have to see. But this video, I'm going to be adding a bag here. So let's jump in and see the ones I just ordered and came in the mail. Here are the bags I ordered. As you can see, they came from Australia, international delivery here. Had to go through customs and everything. Still only took 10 days to get in. I ordered 5 bags and it cost around $25, full price, including shipping coming here. They're reusable each year, so you really don't need that many. I couldn't find any in the US. I had ordered some really sketchy ones from a Chinese website and they ended up just being complete trash. So let me post a link to these if you guys are interested, and I can promise you these are really good quality. So let's open it up and see what it looks like. Here are the bags just coming out. So you can see there's a blue side. Then as we open them up here, you're gonna have a silver side on the other side. They're pretty long. We can actually, our bunch is pretty small compared to some of the commercial bunches, so we can actually cut these down a little bit. But they're pretty large. They're probably 4 feet long by 2.5, 3 feet maybe. Quite large. So let's go over, get these outside and talk about why we need these. Real quick before going outside, I'm gonna cut mine down about 1/4 of the way right here, just because my bunch is not quite as large as some of the commercial bunches that these are made for. And we don't want it hanging down too far below the bunch, otherwise it'll restrict airflow too much. So I'm gonna cut right here and then we'll meet you outside. So let's talk about the main reasons why you'd want to put a bag on here. There's been lots of studies out there that shows this really helps both increase the speed at which the bananas ripen and the size of the bananas when you harvest them. So you can go out there and read all those reports. This is standard practice on all commercial areas. So one, the most important for me personally is that it creates a microclimate inside the bag. So as the temperatures start to drop here, the moisture gets trapped inside there. Airflow is not fully restricted because it's open on both ends, but it is a little bit. So it creates a little more humid of an environment inside there. And it allows for the bananas to stay warmer, about 10 degrees warmer than the outside air. So as it gets cooler in Atlanta, it's gonna stay warmer in there, and I'm gonna be able to leave them up for longer without getting any damage from the cold. Number 2 is that as the bananas ripen, they release a gas. And as that gas gets trapped inside the bag, it makes them ripen even faster. So it kind of speeds it up. Think about like if you were to put a banana inside a brown paper bag in your house, it'll ripen much faster than if you just leave it on the counter. That's the exact same thing we're gonna be doing here. Number 3 is it helps with UV damage. So there's a blue side that lets through all the UV light, that goes down. And then there's a silver side that reflects UV light. We're gonna put this side up towards the sun. You can put it on the east, the west, the north, the south, wherever you have the sun at that time, and it'll block out the UV so there's no UV damage to the bananas. So if you live in a really hot, bright area, and especially if you don't have leaves, I've got a bunch of leaves that are right over top of the bananas there, so it's not as big of a deal for me. But if you don't have leaves that are covering it like that, you can see some serious damage to your bananas. So that helps with that. And then third, in some areas, if you have a bunch of bugs or bats or animals that try to get in, you can close up the bottom with an extra net and then keep those out. That's not a big deal for me right now. Once we took the flowers off, the bees aren't bothering anymore, and I don't see any way that a squirrel or anything else is gonna be getting in there. We don't have bats in the area either. So I think we're good on that front, but that could be helpful for some people like in Australia. So let's get up there and put this on. So for us, what we're gonna need is a ladder. It's a little too high for me to get up there and reach. We're gonna open up the bag and we're just gonna go ahead and place it over the bananas. And then we're gonna need some string just to tie it on with up there. So I'm gonna go ahead and get up there and put it on, and then we'll follow up there. As you can see, here's the bag. You can see it's open on both ends, so it's just a tube. Blue on one side, silver on the other side. This is the side that we're gonna be put facing, for me, I'm gonna kind of face it southeast. The west side over here has shade from these trees in the afternoon. So we're really gonna focus on the morning and afternoon sun that we're gonna block. There it is, fully bagged. I ended up having to use a little bit of duct tape up there to actually just get it to hold. I'm gonna take that off here just in a second, now that I got the string attached. Let's see if I can show you. So basically just did a couple loops around and then tied a little knot. You don't want it to be super tight, so there's a little wiggle room there, enough to just hold the bag on, but it's not supposed to be airtight. Like, you can still have like water and air get in there at the top. And then open here at the bottom. So you can see the bananas still underneath there. We've got about 6 inches or so up to the bottom of those bananas. Like I said, it's gonna be a nice little warm microclimate in there. Should really help speeding up the ripening. Wish I could have gotten these on earlier, but I ordered the wrong ones, and then I had to order these from Australia. They only took 10 days to get in, so you guys should just go ahead and order some of these for next year. Just go ahead and get ready. But really excited about this. Hopefully we should see some real increase. Like I said, I've got 2 more good weeks here where it's forecasted to be up in like the low mid 80s, lows in the low 60s, but still should be pretty good for ripening. Everything else is holding up pretty well. Bananas looking good. Worst case scenario, we bring them inside, but still very excited about the progress here. Here's an update on all the other ones. Venti coal is extremely tall, at least 8-foot stem, and probably 15 feet to the top of these. This thing is massive. I mean, like, it's about to pass the dwarf Namois. A little disappointed in that. I'm honestly not even 100% sure if this is a Venti coal anymore. I was talking with one of the subscribers on the page here about it. He ordered from the same place. We're questioning it just because, yeah, a lot of reports online say they fruit a lot shorter than this one already is, and doesn't really have any sign of fruiting anytime soon. But we'll see. It's just the first year. We'll keep it going. Not going to fruit this year. Double Mahoy. Already past the fruiting height from last year. This is a generation 2 now though. Last year was the first year and it fruited shorter than this. But I think as it's just getting healthier, it's gonna get bigger, which is okay. Remember, we had to cut this one back because it had like a disease or fungus growing on it. So we were kind of late this season, but we'll be really good for next year because this thing is growing super fast. It might be close to fruiting. Definitely not going to eat them or be anywhere close to ripening, but we might see a flower, meaning we might be able to see the double flower. We'll see. That's what I'm going for this year on this one. Just looking for it. But overall, you know, it's a great plant. This is one I recommend to everybody in the Atlanta area. It's going to be your best. And then here's the Truly Tiny in the pot. Still doing great. Still putting out flowers, or not flowers. I wish a flower. You know, new leaves. So we're gonna keep this one going. This one will come indoors this winter. I need to add some more soil to it. But I think this one actually still will fruit. It's just kind of ornamental. So we're gonna get it there. But overall, you know, this is everything I got here. It's looking really good. Very excited about it. You know, good weather to come, and hopefully some bananas to eat. Make sure that subscribe button. Leave any questions in the comments, and I respond to everything. So let me know what you guys think. See ya.